There's a lot to discuss in this video. What am I doing with Saka? Who am I going to captain out of Haaland, Son and Salah? And when am I wildcarding? As usual, we'll start by building from the back. Of course I'm starting Turner against Luton at home, whilst Pickford plays against Liverpool away in the Merseyside derby. That's possibly the easiest home game of the season for Forest. Turner's retained his spot so far since the new goalkeepers come in. I really hope he doesn't drop out in this match, especially with me being an Evertonian. That fixture's going to be a difficult watch as it is. I really don't want my FPL goalkeeper playing in that one as well. If he had a luxury free transfer and I could pick any goalkeeper right now, I'd swap Pickford out for Areola and have Turner in there as well. That would probably give me the most points per million. I'd also have plenty of money in the bank to invest in the outfield positions. That's taking into consideration my wildcard plans, and currently I'm planning on wildcard in game week 19. That's very likely, so I'll probably dead end into blank game week 18, with City and Brentford blank. Then I'm set up well for the business end of the season, where there's plenty of double and blank game weeks. In fact, it's likely that there's going to be a double game week in game week 20, which would be Man City and Brentford, so people might be offloading their City and Brentford players for the blank, but they'll have to get them straight back in 2 game weeks later. And don't forget, in that period, all the free transfers will be focused on that for those teams. But for me, I will be able to amend my other players with my wildcard. Obviously, I'm going through the rough patch right now. I could have wildcarded last game week, and it didn't go well that I didn't, but my team's looking good from this point onwards. In defence, I'm happy with 2 of my 3 defenders, which is Trippier against Palace at home and Cash against West Ham at home. They're 2 decent fixtures, and of course they're very attacking defenders, so they could get a clean sheet, but they've also got the attacking output as well. To be honest, I'm not too keen on owning Diaz. It's 5.5 mil, and the difficult fixtures started last game week for City. Like I mentioned last game week, City have got the best defence in the league, but when you've got a difficult fixture run, it really brings those clean sheet odds down, and he hasn't got the attacking output like my other 2 defenders. At least he's got the home advantage this game week, but Brighton at home is difficult from a defensive perspective. Then they've got United away next game week, which isn't easy either, but at least they've got Bournemouth at home after that, and then they've got another run of difficult fixtures, so I might own him for 3 more game weeks, or I might even sell him this game week. I will discuss my transfer plan later on in the video. That's because it does involve one of my forwards. The player that I'm planning on bringing in defence might not even be replacing Diaz because my bench is so weak this game week. I've got Sula against United at home, Bayer against Brentford away, and Baldock against United at home. The expected minutes are really low because all 3 players are flagged, so it looks like I'm not even going to have an outfield bench, so I'll probably sell either Bayer or Baldock to bring in this player, and like I said, I will discuss that later on who that player is going to be. Moving on to midfield, I've got the United double up of Rashford and Bruno. Obviously they've been underwhelming so far, but they have got a decent fixture this game week against Sheffield United away, who arguably have the worst defence in the league. I've been very patient with these players so far, especially Rashford, and it's not paid off. Hopefully it will pay off this game week, because I am going to stay patient with them with an easy fixture. Next to them in midfield is Saka against Chelsea away, and I really hope he plays this game week, because he didn't feature last game week due to an injury. Arteta gave an update, and it was absolutely useless. He didn't give us any information whether he'll probably start or not, but I think I will keep him, because if he is fit to play, he's one of the best midfielders going forward in the game. The reason I say that is that he's got Sheffield United at home, Burnley at home, Wolves at home, and Luton away in the next 7. To be fair, there are some difficult fixtures in there. Chelsea away isn't easy from an attacking perspective. Newcastle away definitely isn't. Brentford away isn't either, but I think the easy fixtures outweighed the difficult ones, especially with it being 4-3 ratio. I have had a look at the potential replacements, and nobody stands out to me. Obviously, I could go up to Salah, but then I'd have to take a -4 and downgrade another player in my team, which I'm not keen on doing. I don't really want Haaland and Salah. When I've got premium players, I do want to captain them as much as possible. Obviously, if I captain Haaland, I can't captain Salah, and vice versa, so it brings down your points per million. I'd rather have 2 mid-priced midfielders. If we do get the leaked team news that he's not going to play, sidestep transfer from him to Odegaard is an option, but it feels like a bit of a waste of a free transfer. So one thing I probably would do is upgrade one of my players on my bench to step in for this game week, which would probably be that defensive transfer, and I'd end up keeping Diaz. The penultimate midfielder is Son against Fulham at home. I mainly brought him in for captaincy last game week against Luton away, and obviously let me down. Hopefully he'll be decent this game week, and I will discuss captaincy in a moment. My last midfielder is Mbumo against Burnley at home. He hasn't produced for a while now. Obviously produced very high at the start of the season. He was actually the best midfielder in the game. His underlying stats have dropped, which has been expected, but his output has practically been nothing recently, and this is a big opportunity for him in a decent fixture. Up front is Haaland against Brighton at home. If you've watched my best captain video, he's going to be my captain this game week because Son was in third place. I'm not going to spoil who was in first place between Salah and Haaland. I don't own Salah, so I don't need to discuss that. Make sure you go and watch that video if you've not watched it already. Completing the team is Morris against Forest away. Obviously, he was successful in the double game week captaincy. He got me plenty of points gained from that. And this is the last of his easy fixtures, so I'm hoping to sell him next game week. I'm not looking to buy a forward at his cheap price point. I'm looking to buy a mid-price forward, and obviously I'm going to need the cash to do that. So the transfer that I've been discussing would be Diaz to Tsimikas. It would give me plenty of money in the bank to do that free transfer next game week. So if you've not already heard, Robertson's got a shoulder injury and he could be out for up to 10 weeks. Now, Klopp's not had his press conference yet, and up to 10 weeks could even be a week because that it technically falls into the category. So we'll see if we can get an update off him. Then we've also got Liverpool playing in the first fixture of this game week, so we'll probably get leaked team news, and if Tsimikas is starting, I'll probably make that free transfer. If all of that information doesn't fall into place like I want it to, then I'll roll my free transfer, then I'll have 2 free transfers next game week. That's providing none of my players get ruled out before the deadline. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any more videos like this. And if you've not already watched my best captain video, it's very tight between Salah and Haaland. So if you own both, I strongly suggest that you watch that video, or if you're considering bringing Salah in, because that's an option as well.